Friday Interactive, and this is part B of last week's session, and we are glad to be with you. My name is Brian Gatimu, and with me on set today is Pastor Julius from Innkeepers Fellowship, who is our lead pastor. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and this was a blast last time. So
yes. Karibu sana. And also to my left, I have Bishop Stanley Mwalili. It's an honor again to be with you, and Karibu.
Thank you, Pastor Brian and Pastor Ndivo as well. Thanks for having me again in this program.
Good. Now, last week, if you missed last week's session, please have a look at it. It's in our Facebook and our YouTube channel. Please have a look at it. Very interesting discussion, very inspiring, very insightful. We're talking about wise use of time during this COVID period. And a lot of advice has been given. And from this stage, this was a very, very rich forum. Please don't miss that one. Today, we'll look at part B of that. And we will look at primarily focus on the youth and look at what is wise use of time for the younger generation. Young is defined in very many ways and very many age brackets in our generation today. Pastor Julius, what do you consider to be young?
you know, they tell us if you've just passed the 50 year, maybe things have shifted for you. But there are people who refuse now. They say no, 37, 39, 40.
It's still very young.
I guess whoever it is that feels they are young.
Yes.
This is for them.
Bishop, what do you consider to be young? Or what have you had people say this is young?
Me, Pastor Ndivo just completely removed me from it didn't even come anywhere near my age. So for me, I'll find it out and say that the age is simply a number. I'm young at heart.
You're young at heart.
But anyway, he's right. I think there's a level where really, I think we have to agree that once you begin to look at 35, 40, yeah, you may be young, but the reality is there are certain things that will tell you you're no longer young.
Yeah.
So I think it's good to just be fair that anything 40 below all the way to 18 years, that's young.
You consider it to be young. Very accurate. The other day we went for our prize giving day. And that is where you realize that young, there are people who are young. Where you used to run, and then here you are with high schoolers, and there they are onto your marks, and you think, hey, okay, I can't stretch as fast as I used to. And for today's discussion, we will majorly look at it between the bracket of 18. Everyone has been given their ID, all the way to campus and maybe after campus. 5 years after that, 23, 24 over there. And look at this group and ask, how is it that you can use your time wisely over this period of COVID-19? And just to bring us to the first place, many young people, have had them question a lot. And they ask the question, why is this happening? COVID has happened. There are so many discussions about how it's happened, people wondering and looking into it, scientists, doctors. But their basic question is, and to the church, and they are questioning, why? Why is this happening? Are there instances in the Bible where nations and countries have been brought to a halt like we are in today? And Pastor Julius, maybe you can start by telling us, is this there in the Bible, and why would God say this happen?
Good question. And once again, very, very grateful to just share this time together with Bishop here and just be able to look at the things that we will discuss here. Once again, very big honor. Why is this happening? I think that's a wrong question, because I think, all kinds of theories have come. This came from some lab in Wuhan.
Yes.
This is, it's what? 5G.
Yes.
It is, all of this. There's an antichrist preparing stuff to happen, and so on and so forth. And all of this are good discussions
Yes.
to listen to. and to allow, to just hear, what's happening. And if we can get to the bottom of it, it will be a good thing.
Yes.
But I think if you get stuck, young people listening to us, if you get stuck there, wanting to know, so why is this happening? Why is somebody doing this? Why did somebody manufacture this virus? Is this 5G is all about? I think it's very easy to find yourself first upset with people, upset maybe with the devil,
True.
upset maybe even with God. Why did God allow this? Sometimes we forget this is a world where we've already welcomed the devil into, and there are decisions. God gave us this world, and there are things we would do here, and it doesn't mean every little thing that is happening here, God has to come and steer it and all.
Yes.
And so I think when we get stuck there asking, so why is all this happening to us? Sometimes it's possible to drive yourself down the wrong road. Bitterness, anger, stress, depression, and so on and so on. I think one of the things I would challenge those of us who are asking why is to maybe ask ourselves, so we're already here. So what is it that I need to do here? There are uncertainties, there's hopelessness, there's things are going down, the economy is being shaken, we don't have the mobility that we'd like to have, and so on and so forth. But ask ourselves, so we're already here. So what can we do, to still keep our heads above the water, and better still, thrive in this season? And then if we get our why question answered, I think that to me would be a fringe benefit.
Wow.
But for me, I would want to focus on, we're already here. So how can I still continue to further my agenda, what God's called me to do, and the assignment I have here on earth, in the best way possible, the circumstances and the environment notwithstanding.
Thank you. Bishop, any take on that?
Yeah, I think some questions best remain rhetoric. I mean, it's okay to ask questions.
Yes.
But it's good for the askers to remember that there may be no answer, because there's no one who will answer that.
True.
Because we cannot purport to explain everything that happens in this world. Otherwise, there are so many questions we can ask.
Yes.
Before COVID-19.
Yes.
I mean, why should so many locusts just decide to come together? Why can't they just come out normally?
Yes.
To eat what they need to eat.
Yes.
And, die and allow us to come. Why do they come, all of them? Why do we have floods? Why do we have droughts? So these are questions we can ask, but at the human level, let them remain rhetoric. Those who can answer them, to try and seek solutions, let them do it. And we are people like that. There are scientists, the climate experts. But there are things that have no experts. And these are things that are left to God and His sovereignty.
Yes.
And that's why now we need to get to a place whereby, as God's people, appreciate that there's a place of sovereignty of God, where God knows everything, He is in control of everything, He owns everything. So if we know that, and we know that we belong to God, then the answer to that question is not very important. What is important is, how do we respond to what happens? Somebody said that life is only 90% of what happens. Sorry, 10% of what happens. And 90% of the time is actually how you respond to what has happened. One little thing happens, and then the rest of the thing is, a virus is a very small thing. It happened in one location.
Yes.
But the whole world has been riveted by it because of just the response. You can see what has happened. The other statement that I think would help people asking is, when things go wrong, don't go with them. Okay. Because it's possible for things to go wrong.
Yes.
To go wrong. So if something goes wrong, you need to step back and ask, so what do I do? So I think, like Pastor Ndivo is saying, what would help us in this conversation is not really to bother too much with why. How do we make the best out of this? Because somebody said that the difference between a stepping stone and a stumbling block is the way you use them. If you kick a stepping stone, it becomes a stumbling block.
Yes.
If you step on it, it will take you to the next
To the next level.
And you have heard
Wow.
of this. If people throw bricks at you, turn them into a building.
Yes.
If somebody throws lemons at you, squeeze lemonade out of it.
Yes.
So it's just a question of changing your mindset and say, okay, this has happened. So how can I make the best out of this? I think this program will be very helpful.
Yes.
If we can maybe look at that, and we can be able to help one or two people instead of being depressed and feeling like everything is stopped. What are the positives?
Yes.
What we need to do, because there are very many positives.
Yes.
Very
And thank you so much. That is very profound and very timely in this generation where any question you have, Google. You just go type it and then you get. It's very wise counsel to hear that not all questions need answers, and you don't have to get to the bottom of it, especially when you're limited in the knowledge, in what you know. And that, I think, for us young people, we should carry it. We should carry it and run with it. And talking about the world today and where we are living, we'd want to extend this a bit to you. And you see, a lot of the things are not happening as usual. Mobility has been censored. There are areas you can't go to. You're supposed to be in the house at a certain time. Institutions have been closed. And a young person somewhere is asking, so what have I been left with? I can't see my friends. I can't go do what I'm used to doing. And from you gentlemen, we want to hear, what are you seeing today in this generation, where you can tell what opportunities are you seeing in this generation where young people can't see? If COVID happened, Bishop Mwalili, when you were 17 years old, and today, what's the difference? Are there opportunities today that young people are not taking advantage of, even as all this is happening?
One of the blessings of this generation is technology.
Technology.
Something we didn't have. I mean, when I was 17, I can't remember how many years that is.
Yes.
That's probably about more than 30 years ago.
Wow.
Or nearly 40. That's long.
That's a while.
And yet, things have changed so drastically.
Yes.
So I think the youth of today, in my opinion, are very blessed in the sense that they were born with technology.
Yes.
I mean, so for them, they don't need to meet you to have a face. That's why we have Facebook.
Yes,
I mean,
exactly.
Them,
yes.
have a face, even if you're not there. For us, it had to be the face. So I think if it happened during our time, we would be probably most miserable. Because then they can shoot off. But on the flip side, I think it also serves to help the young people know that there is a place for physical connection.
Yeah.
In my opinion, that's one of the biggest lessons. I think young people should come out with that. To remember that everything, it cannot just be reduced to a cell phone,
Yes.
to Google, and to Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
You actually once in a while need the physical presence of your friend, of your family, and other people.
True. Yeah.
And for me, that would be an important takeaway, because one of the worries we have had with the millennial generation
Yes.
is, will they ever build what we have always known to be the normal human relational capabilities of being able to sit with someone, talk with them, see their expression, as opposed to typing an emoji when you are crying. Actually, you're not crying. Somebody pretends to be crying with you on the other side, and they are actually enjoying a very sweet and laughing with a friend. So
Yes.
that, to me, this sort of shake-up brings us to the place of appreciating, there is a very real human aspect to life, which should never be ignored. So before I talk about many other things, I think for me, that's a low-hanging, fruit.
Yes.
That if there's a way young people can come to the place that they wonderful cell phones, Instagram, and all these social media opportunities, they're wonderful.
Yes.
But then all of a sudden you realize, okay, I'm chatting with my friend, but I haven't hugged them, I haven't seen them, and I haven't had them smile at me, or I haven't had them laugh with me.
Yes.
And that's something we begin to realize. Then we need to balance that. As we spend time on social media,
Yes.
we also need to create time where we really spend real social time
Together.
physically.
Yeah. Wow. Pastor Julius, is there anything you'd see would be a difference between COVID happening when you're 17 and your son experiencing COVID in this season?
I think that's very profound, what Bishop has just shared. Very profound. I'm not too far. I'm close to, as it takes one corner, lots of people behind you.
Yes.
So a lot of that, I mean, growing up, I grew up in some village in the eastern part of this country. And, so if you didn't meet out there in the field,
Yes.
when taking care of cows together,
Uh-huh.
you didn't meet. That was it.
Yeah.
You didn't retreat back to the house and begin to chat or, video call or FaceTime.
You had
Yes.
to wait the following day to meet.
Exactly. And, communication was either, whistling across the village and shouting.
Yes.
And so that was it. So if we didn't connect, physically, then we didn't connect.
Yes.
And of course, seeing, and what he said, seeing that there's a generation now that has felt that, for us, what we had as our primary connection is now their secondary connection. Because it's, I don't think will be, too much error maybe saying for a lot of the millennials, their primary connection is first the gadgets.
Yes.
I mean, my son, where he goes to school, one of his friends just they relocated to the US.
Okay.
And so, because they have these games they play together, so now part of the things there is I need to hang out with my friends, and of course with the time difference. So now we have a time where we stop using gadgets in the house.
Uh-huh.
And so he came and said, Dad, look, this won't work now. My friend is all the way on the other side, so sometimes when we are going to sleep here, is when we are waking up or preparing to wake up.
Yeah.
So you have to review this guidelines so that because I need to play games with my friend, he's all the way, 1,000 miles away,
Yes.
but they're still playing games together, and connecting and chatting, so as they play a game, via the gadget. So I think for me, again, one of the things just closely tied to what you said will be a review. A balance, getting a balance to realize that yes, we may have felt that our primary way of connection is via these gadgets and technology.
Yeah.
But then to also now, post-COVID, to begin to have these young people prioritize. How do they now coming back? How do they prioritize that time when we're in the house or people are together? It can't all be there on the gadget.
Yes.
There's us time. Those connections. I think this will be a good time to actually, for the young people, to begin to review that balance and say, okay, we must really get the proper balance here coming back. Not to throw away technology, it has many blessings, but also let's not have it as an extreme. Let's strike the balance here and have it serve us right, but also remain a blessing and not allow that technology to also deny us a very important part of this.
Wow.
And I think, Pastor, also coming back to the older people as well, though today we are talking about the younger people, but it also serves to help the older people as well appreciate that without technology, then this life would also be very difficult. Because for us, we have always, wanted to meet and to face to face.
Yes.
But the situation is we are about to social distance, is locked down. As all of a sudden you realize technology has also its place. And so it also brings up to a place where we can appreciate the young people's way of looking at life. And at this a time when technology can be very convenient. Because you have had a lot of older people that have stuck to their, just the old ways of connecting, meeting.
Yes.
But now you realize most of us have been forced to adapt to Zoom and all other Google meeting rooms and stuff like things that some of us have never had. And now all of a sudden they become the order of the day. And so again, in my opinion, this whole thing serves to kind of bring the generations almost to the same level in an acceleration of technological catch-up, even for the older people like us who are very rigid. But there are some pastors who are completely not even wanted to do anything online, don't think it is real, but they are forced now to just get into this. I have a friend of mine in Cape Town, and he's fought with his young people about, they are very technologically advanced.
Yes.
They kept telling him that, let's do this thing. And nowadays he now preaches in his house and he has
and ask for their assistance.
And so really, in a way, it just helps to really help the whole generation of people come together and appreciate each other's world. You know, the young people appreciating that, oh, so it made a difference when I met with my friend physically. Now we can't meet. And for us older people, oh, come to think of it.
Yes.
So it's actually possible to have meaningful engagements
Yes.
online. And so in a way, it still serves some purpose.
Yes.
It helps accelerate certain things that, in my opinion, would have taken a little longer for certain people,
Yes.
especially those late adopters of technology. I think it's speeding up that. We're going to see a lot of technology adoption. And the people who are already investing in technology actually are the people who are making money. Because that's where the demand has shifted to.
Yes.
And also just appreciating, sometimes there are meetings we've not held, talking about the church setup.
Yeah.
Because I leave work at 5 o'clock. So if I have to get into the car and begin to drive to church for a prayer meeting that starts at 6, I'll get there at 7:30.
Yes.
And, because the church is on one side of the city, I work on the other side. And so we had situations where some people just resigned to faith that, look, I can never attend a prayer meeting in church. But now realizing, we can actually have that prayer meeting.
Yes, and everyone is...
Yes, and everyone logs in, and you have your people, and you pray, and achieve almost 90% of what you could have achieved.
Yes.
Of course, it's a place of hugging and connecting, physical connection. But realizing the big stone can still be taken care of through some of this. And I think, from what Bishop is saying, just appreciating both sides and connecting that, I think, is a huge play. And I hope we won't quickly gravitate back to where we were.
When the lessons we've gotten. Yeah, and that's a very big one. Technology and communication. Things we can carry from this season, even as young people. There's a place for balance, and there's a gift that we have today that wasn't there a while back. And gentlemen, in your respect your leaders in our society, as pastors, as spiritual leaders and mentors, and just to hear from you. Sometimes young people are given advice and they say, that's my father. My mother doesn't understand me, or she can't get what I'm saying. And like you've well said about the advantages we have today in technology, if the other thing we miss is that balance you've spoken of, ways in which young people are misusing technology. So I have internet in the house. I can log on to whichever channel online on YouTube and get to learn a new skill. But you find young people are more interested in other ways, other things. YouTube, a young person has music for 12 hours, 6 hours with still their headphones. And you have come from a certain level. You've come from far, Bishop, from starting your ministry up to where it is today. If you were to do that with technology, with the technology that we have today, would you be further, and how far? Would you be tempted to go the way the young people are going with YouTube and music and just spending, watching series every hour until someone is going to bed at 3 a.m. because they're watching movies? Do you think you'd veer to that way, or would you keep on with?
I think it's fair to say that sometimes life depends on how we are predisposed to situations.
Yes.
For us, I guess, growing up, there wasn't a lot. We had our own challenges. We had our own things that took our time.
Yes.
We had our own games, which may not necessarily be online. And if you are not careful as a young man,
yes,
you would waste your time. So every generation has its own situations that
yes,
deal with in terms of what steals their time. And in my opinion, when you think about proper time management, one of the things that people need to manage are what we call time wasters.
Yes.
And being able to identify what wastes time, what consists of time wastage.
Yes.
This to me stems out from having a very clear objective of your life. Because without an objective and without goals, then the question is, when you wake up in the morning, why are you waking up? Because the problem of time mismanagement is when you wake up without an objective. So if you know that when I wake up, this is what I need to achieve by the end of the day, then it is possible to look at all the quadrants of time management and decide, okay, this is urgent and important, urgent, not important.
Yes.
Not urgent, not important, not urgent, and important.
Yes.
And then by that, then you can be able to have a very clear understanding of when I wake up, these are the 2 most critical things out of the 10 that I have that I must achieve before sunset.
Yes.
And we know that generally the Pareto principle, Pareto was an Italian economist who came up with this brilliant idea that 80% of your output ordinarily will come from 20% of your input.
Yes.
If you have really organized yourself well, that out of the 10 things you plan to do in a day, if you do 2, if you have prioritized properly, they will give you 80% of the output for that day. Okay?
Yes.
So with that then in mind, someone is able to decide that music is important.
Yes.
So what will I do, and then at what portion of time will my music take?
Yeah.
So for me, the beginning point is not so much about what is available. First of all, it is what is your objective in life. If you're a student,
Yes.
you are supposed to study.
Yes.
The question is, have you read all the books that you need to read? Because one of the advantages the young people have today is accessibility of information.
True.
When I was young, for you to read a book, you had to buy one.
Have the money to buy one.
Have the money to buy one, and not have money, know where it is,
Wow.
and then also walk to the place to get it, or drive, or get into a bus.
Yes.
So you find that information acquisition in our time was harder than now. Today, information is at the
Fingertips.
fingertips.
Just there.
So even if you don't know whether there is information like that, if
Yeah.
you just type, for example, computer science, and you have all the information. So you can choose, I want this, you click that, download this for free. There are free downloads that you need to buy a few dollars. Your parents will be happy to pay $1 or $2 for you to access that material.
Yes.
So in my opinion, every generation has its own opportunities, but what matters is not the opportunities or the things that take our time away. It is ourselves, what we choose to do. Because even in our time, we have some people who wasted time, never amounted to much, and there are those who did something with the time they had.
Yeah.
They also played because they also had the experience as young people then, but they still made it in life because of the way they chose to spend their time.
True.
So for me, I would want first of all to focus on the whole internal environment of this person who is confronted with this situation.
Yes.
If you are not together yourself, it doesn't matter what else is around you.
Yeah.
You will still emerge and look back and wonder how time went and
What happened? Yeah. Wow.
And maybe just to add on what Bishop is saying, and it's interesting to look at it. I've always imagined that the young people now, I think, have more distractions than we did. Once a duck in, our games ended. It looks like theirs begin when the duck sets in. I think it's important to appreciate as young people the seasonality of life. You have right now, if you're in campus, there's a way you're going to determine your value in 10 years by what you do now.
Okay.
And there are things that if you miss in their season, there's a limp you will carry in life. And you see, sometimes I think we forget that there's an investment I need to prudently be making into my life right now. That if I just do what seems popular, everyone is listening to music. I need to listen to every new release, every new album. I need to do all of that. And it's important to feel you're in step with things.
Yes.
But you see, if you forget about the season you are in and what is expected of you during this season, right now you may be under the care of your parents.
Yeah.
Somebody is paying the rent. Somebody is buying the food.
Yes.
If you need to move, your parents will pay the Uber.
Yeah.
If and so on and so forth. And it's very easy to imagine life will always be
That's
like this.
Yes. Yeah.
And forget that the season I have right now is, if I use it well, it will determine if I'll be able to afford my Uber another 12 years to come.
Yes.
If I'll be able to, this DSTV that my parents pay for, if I'll be able to pay for my own in another 12 years. And so just remembering that very soon I'll be out of this comfort,
Mm-hmm.
and my parents used their time well
Yes.
in the right seasons
Yeah.
that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And so in as much as music is important, seeing what has come out, what are people listening
yeah.
to, what's happening in the streets of and corridors of
Yeah.
God knows where, so all of that, and we're not saying be backward, be left, so that when
Yeah.
people are saying, oh, a new movie has come, you have no
You
idea.
don't know.
That's not what we're saying, but we're
Yes.
saying there's a prudence that must be exercised.
Yeah.
And if that, knowing that new song means I don't catch up with my schoolwork, and it could mean failing an exam and repeating another unit,
Yes.
and so on and so forth, and looking at the consequences, the ripple effect, and so on and so forth. So just prudently analyzing your season, and as you decide, do I really need a whole night of watching this movie?
Yeah.
Do I really need 3 hours to listen to these songs? And even if all my friends know these songs and I watched all these movies and never get to watch, so what? So what dent that leave in me? I don't know about that new movie. I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
So what? My friends may think I'm backward. So what? In another 5 years and so.
Nobody is rewarded for knowing that.
Exactly. Nobody may remember that 5 years ago you didn't watch this movie.
Yes.
And the one who didn't watch and use their time better may now be the person because they are able to afford the lifestyle they want to live, they can manage their things well. And so that prudence, I think, is very key. Very, very key.
Oh, thank you. So young people, I hope you're hearing what is coming from our leaders. I hope you can see it's not just your parents pushing you or your guardian not seeing what you need, but we are hearing it from our leaders, and they're saying, take time. Have prudence in what you're doing. You may need the movie, you may need to listen to that music, but know the reason why you woke up that day. Very, very profound. If you're a parent, share this with your young ones, nephews, nieces. This is what they need to hear, and this is what you're discussing. And Pastor Julius, you've mentioned something very key. You've talked about investment. So I am a young person. It's COVID time. I've managed my time well. During this period, I have exercised every morning. I've had time for jogging in the evenings. I have learned to bake bread instead of buying from out there, white bread. And I have gained so many skills and invested my time well. Come the end of COVID, and things are back to normal. Traffic is there. If they'll come back to normal. And many of us go back to school. And what are some of the ways in which we can retain the investment that we've made, the disciplines that I've gathered during this 2 months so far? What are some of the ways in which I can safeguard that investment and add to it, if not maintain it?
The other day I woke up there's an hour I usually wake up on Sundays. And I told my wife, I can't believe it's a Sunday and I'm here. At times like this, I'm on the road.
Heading to
the second one. And so I was telling her, I think I love to have hangovers. Why don't you go back?
Yes.
This is easy. Yeah. But, a lot of the places and a lot of people, annual goals, if you push them to 15th of February,
yes,
they're doing very well. Generally.
Yes, the New Year's resolutions.
New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
A lot of people fall away as we come to the last week of January, the excitement of a year is going down.
Yes.
First week of February. If you hit 15, they say you're in the really the small group of people who really have staying power, focus, have vision, have right structures, and so on and so forth. So it will not be a surprise, depending on the degree to which normalcy will be achieved. But, it's very easy now to have some of these lessons screaming in front of us. But as soon as some measure of normalcy begins to kick in, we go back to the known trend of Feb 15.
Yes.
One of the things I'd like to throw out here is, you see, if you learn some good lessons and you think they affect and change your life, number one, it's good to write them
Okay.
Yeah? Don't just keep it here. Write it down.
Yes.
Say, one of the lessons, and I've opened a folder in my iPad here, just post-COVID, and Bishop is saying we shouldn't, it shouldn't be so much pegged on post. It may be during COVID because we need to be learn with some. But, and I've opened that folder, and everything I think is useful. First, I'm writing it down. All right? Just note it down. Say, this is a lesson I'm learning. I don't want it to get overtaken by things and it quickly evaporates. I write it down. 2, it's important to share it with somebody. All right? I go to my friends or to my parents or to some place and say, when things get, when things shift and change a little bit, this is what I'll be doing. This is how my life will look like. So that in the event that I forget, I have somewhere I can refer.
Yes.
1. And 2, I also have somebody, 1 or 2 people who can maybe also keep me accountable. There are things I have written, and I'm sharing with my wife and some with my children. To just say, guys, this is, and the other day we had a meeting with the elders, and I said, guys, I know we're still processing how we'll do church, but these are some of the things we will begin to do.
Yes.
These are some of the things we're doing. As a matter of fact, we've sent some of these 5 Ps just to analyze the situation to everyone.
Yes.
And we want to publish to everyone in church.
Yes.
Going forward, these are some of the decisions we've taken. This is how we'll do church differently. So that should we forget and have the temptation to revert back,
yes.
we know we already told everyone. Exactly. And this is the viewers.
Yes.
So I think maybe not to say too much. I think those will be 2 quick things I'll begin to say. Write them down.
Okay.
Share them with somebody.
Yeah.
So that when you begin to quickly forget, you can say, hey, look, I thought you told us. I thought you said, some of your meetings will be doing on Zoom instead of driving west to
all the
North,
way.
and, you do this,
Yes.
and so on. So those are 2 initial things I'll throw out.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Bishop?
Yeah, I think for me, just to realize that they say that if you do something consistently for 21 days, it should become a habit. And for young people, I'm particularly thinking about, you see, when people are young, this is a time to take in information and skills.
Yes.
And to learn. It's actually a learning time.
Yes.
And one of the best ways to learn is to really read and study. Like we said earlier, there's a lot of information that people can access, and credible, good information. And if someone can just form a habit of, reading a certain amount of literature in a particular subject of either personal interest or that is related to the current situation where you are in, then what happens once you pick that habit, it's very difficult to even break free from it. You find that once you try to do that, your body feels like there's something wrong
Yes.
with doing. And so for me, I would really encourage, especially young people, to take time and really look for good information, whether in e-books or just a general information, because virtually any form of literature is online.
Yes.
The Britannica, all these books that you can't afford.
Yes.
You just go through, you find it is
You'll
here.
find it.
And you can really read a certain aspect of things and your knowledge about things. Because knowledge is important, because knowledge basically helps us to relate with the world. Knowledge is not so much about passing an exam. And you find that if young people can begin to be knowledgeable early enough, it's a huge blessing.
Yeah.
One of the things I normally thank God for is the high school I went to was in Isiolo County, in the district then.
Yeah.
And it was a school far flung from civilization.
Yes.
How did you get to
I was admitted to a national school. I was a cream of
You're handpicked.
as one of the 2 students for that year that qualified from our district to go to a national school. That particular national school. Because it took 2 students from every district in the country. So I found myself in a school that's well equipped with books. And tell you the truth, you see this program you normally see on DSTV, National Geographic.
Yes.
It used to be a magazine.
Then.
I read virtually every National Geographic magazine
Wow.
1984 backwards. Our school had that.
Uh,
Reading about Mount Vesuvius. If you tell our general fellow here.
I wonder what that is.
Many other things.
Yes.
And so I'm looking back, and today, my level of interaction with the world, and I travel to the U.S. and many places, and I seem to have a very good understanding of the geography of a place I've never been. And I'm talking to someone, and they tell me, it's like you live here, you just read all this stuff.
Wow.
So really, I think for young people, it's very important to realize that everything written is not useless. People need to go after good knowledge.
Good knowledge.
When you know stuff, when you understand the world economy, you understand, geography, you understand, it all comes together in life one day.
Yes.
Because you find yourself really being able to interact and to connect things and really have a very healthy appreciation
Wow.
of everything. And basically, just learning helps us
Yes.
to effectively live in this world. It's very difficult to be an effective, you can't enjoy creation well if you don't understand it.
True.
So one of
True.
the blessings I have in life is my school system somehow exposed me to learning so many things about life. Plant science, soil science,
Yes.
animal ecology, welding, so building, growing. So it's very difficult for fundis to come here, for example, and they make something even before they nail it.
Yes.
I just stand there and I tell my friend, "Yo, kitu in a square." He said, no. Say, just take it.
Prima.
I'm able to see that.
Yes.
Because the way I've been trained in life helped me to appreciate so many basic aspects of life, and then others just reading myself. It's rare that you mention something and I don't have an idea of that thing. I just know something about it. So it becomes easy so that even when I meet with you, Pastor, and you begin to discuss something,
Yes.
I'll pick it up because I already
You
have
can.
some knowledge.
Yes.
So people have plenty of time to do that. So instead of wasting time with things that are either leisure, because the problem usually
Yes.
is leisurely things.
Yes.
Leisurely things many times are not, they don't have long-term value.
Value, yes.
They are for the moment. Leisure is for the moment. And so we would rather, as young people, really, work now and play later, as opposed to play now and work later.
And work later.
Yeah, we better work now and play later. Somebody said it's better to cry now and laugh tomorrow, as opposed to crying,
laughing today, yes.
Another one said that when you mess up your time at this early age, it's like you have eaten your supper for breakfast. You take your supper, eat for breakfast.
Yes.
So when supper comes,
And it's coming. And it's coming.
I would say, for me, because young people don't have, there are not many responsibilities.
Yes.
And so that, again, I don't run the risk of dominating this discussion. I think as much as we talked last week about helping, young people also need to learn to step in and be part of the family ecosystem. So that it's not just mom and dad and house helps that are doing everything.
Yes.
It's very important that young people also learn that they can clean the house, they can clean dishes,
Yes.
they can be trained.
The
how to
basic, yes.
Yeah, those we call them life skills.
Yes.
When my wife was training our sons, and both of them actually how to do work, she told them, "I'm training you. We call these skills for life.
Yes.
You need these skills.
You'll
Not
need
me,
it.
You're not making this for us. Us, we can sort ourselves out.
Yeah.
But one of these days, you won't be here, and you may land in hands of people who don't even know how to do this thing.
Yes.
So you better know how to wash dishes. You better know how to wash clothes.
Yes.
You better know how to iron, how to clean the house, how to make your bed, how to fold your clothes. All these kind of things, so that really, at any one given time, you really don't have to wait for someone to come and do things for you. Because then when you do that, you become like a person living with a disability, which is not true.
True.
Even people who have a disability,
Yeah.
they know that disability is not inability.
Yes. Wow.
And maybe just before we lose that, the two things I'd like to just add on there that Bishop has provoked. And I think it's very important to shift the perspective, the way we view. Sometimes for the young people, it's very easy to feel mopping the house is for, there's a class of people who should do that. And forgetting that I'll go begin life in a few years, and I'll find myself in my one bedroom or, you know, a bed sitter somewhere. Will I need to hire somebody to come and mop the house? Or I might even find myself in a situation where I can't afford that person to come.
Yes.
And as life has it, I may need to begin there, you know, where I'm doing stuff for myself. And so that shift of the perspective and the view of this to actually make them those life skills, you know, it's very important, because sometimes I think we fight and the young people feel, and no, that's not for me. Somebody else should mow the grass. Somebody else should take out trash. You know, that's why, you know. So I think that change is very important. And just another quick point there is the leisure to also realize that leisure just needs to be leisure, and when it is overdone, it becomes destructive.
Yeah.
So leisure has its place, and it should be enjoyed within that confines. Some limits. And so there's a time leisure. I can't be here 22 hours later saying, no, this series is not over, and I'm stuck there. You know, so leisure should be put in its right box. And we should be clear that when we overdo it, it ceases being leisure.
True.
It's become something else. And even get addictive and destroy when we started in the name of, oh, I need to relax, I've been reading hard, and so on and so forth. So I just wanted to throw in that.
Excellent. Wow. And thank you. And maybe before we wind up, and it's good we've mentioned technology and the advantages we have today as young people, but I know there's a place where, and we can put it in today's context, there are things, even in doing church, there are things that we miss about having the traditional Sunday service. And we thank God there's technology, there's Zoom, there's YouTube, but there's some things which can't be replaced. And I know we've mentioned a couple, but just in winding up, what are some of the things do you miss, Pastor Julius? And you know, people out there have told you, hey, this we miss about Sunday service, us coming together and meeting together. What are some of the things that COVID period has made us realize, hey, this is integral and we miss it in as much as we have all the other advantages?
You see, we can't run away from the fact that God created us as social beings. There's a part of us that just needs to be close to each other. Exchange a hug, say, so how you doing? Look at you, hear what you're saying, yes, but also hear it as it comes through your eyes, because your eyes communicate. You know, your face communicates. And so I miss just the car park fellowship, just people. You know, I can hear their voice, but it's not complete if I can't see Bishop. We can talk about there's something about I saw Bishop today, we connected, we shared. You know, we may not be able to hug now and whatever, but you know, that I miss people. I've heard the voice of people, I've seen their faces on Zoom and wherever else, but just people. I miss people. And when you look at the New Testament, there are the 21, what we call one another commands. Things that God will not do directly from heaven. His way of doing them is going through people so that they can do them to us. Love one another. You know, so there's a way we express love. If I've actually driven through your house and say, just wanted to check how you guys doing, and we pray together, and you know, all of that, I can still call, but there's a measure of love that can only be shown as we connect physically. And so on and so forth. Bear one another's burdens. There are people who we may call and say, how are you doing? But there's still stuff that won't come out because we cannot, you know, meet physically. All right? And so there are those, the people themselves, but two also, some of the things that physical connection becomes a channel for some of those things to be done. So I think for me that I miss. Just corporate worship. In as much as you turn on something and watch, there's an environment you can't create. If the worship team is not here in the pulpit and you're there and we're lifting up hands and the Lord just moves, that corporate connection, worship together. We can watch it and try and worship, but it's not quite the same. I think I miss just that charged atmosphere of connecting with the heavens when we all hear our voices together and just raise in unison our worship to God.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think just among many, those are just a few of some of the things that for me I can't wait to enjoy some of those experiences.
Again. And Bishop, what are some of the things congregants are talking to you and telling you this? Would rather do it in person.
Interestingly, and I've said this before, I think church members don't seem like they are really looking forward to coming back.
Really?
Like the problem is the pastors. I think we must have won them out or something. But anyway, pastors love people.
Yes.
And for us, like Pastor Ndivo is saying, just seeing people.
Yes, they're there. Here you are.
Something about seeing people that makes you happy.
Yes.
I miss that. And not even if we are not hugging, just seeing people trooping in. You feel like the father and children coming home. It's a wonderful feeling.
Wow.
This place feels so empty. I miss the children.
I miss children.
I love them. So when I meet them, or when sometimes we are here and they are worshiping, I can hear them sing. I love that. I say that's a generation that is growing up. With Jesus, I miss that.
Wow.
Of course, I miss the band here.
Yes.
When they play here, and I'm just dancing here, it's awesome. Many things, my brother.
Yes.
So really, I must say that life is not the same again.
Yes.
It takes grace to just not be depressed.
Yes.
For not just
Not-
being with people.
Yes.
For us pastors, life revolves around people.
True.
So if you can have people physically, it's hard.
It is.
And those are things we really, really miss. And then when you're preaching, there's something about preaching to people as opposed to an empty.
Yes. Or a lens, a
People
camera.
respond, there's
Yes.
reaction.
Yeah.
Somebody is smiling. Another one lifts their hand in appreciation of a point.
Yes.
Another one says amen. Another one says hallelujah.
Yeah.
People laugh when you crack a joke. Now this time round,
You
in
can't.
fact, you notice that even in our sermons, jokes are fewer. You don't know whether you crack a joke and it laughs. The same impact.
Yes. On
So
the other side.
many things, many
Yeah.
dynamics. So a lot has changed, and obviously it will be alive one to tell you that we are not missing these things.
Yes.
We really do.
Wow.
And of course, let's be fair. I mean, when people gather, I think some people are motivated to give an offering when we are gathered.
When you're together.
We miss the offerings.
Yes.
Many pastors are not bold to say that. Not
Yeah.
necessarily because we need them, but it's part of.
It's
life.
part of, yes.
It's like
And our worship.
it's like a shop saying they don't miss customers buying things.
Eh.
They'll be lying.
Yes.
The fact is when people gather,
Uh-huh.
they give, and that helps the ministry to do what it's supposed to do.
Yes.
There's definitely been a huge hit in terms of giving because, again, also remember, people have lost income. So it's
Yeah.
not just about gathering. There are those who are still giving very faithfully, but it's never the same again. Clearly, there will be a huge drop, and there's already has been. And that's a reality for many ministers.
Yeah.
We have established institutions.
Yes.
We like it on all these lights require the bills
They-
to be paid.
yes.
There's no other income. We don't have a business. We don't sell stuff. So it's out of the gifts. of
Give.
people.
Yes.
So when there's no opportunity to do that, obviously that's an area that concerns everybody. And
Yeah.
we need to be fair. It's not just about pastors loving money.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with running an institution that is like any other. It has bills, requires cash flows, requires that workers be paid.
Yes.
Maintenance aspects be done. So those are things we miss.
Yeah.
We pray that somehow God in His own way will help us to navigate through and even emerge and be able to catch up. And possibly now adjust going forward so that in the future if something like that happens, then we know that we probably have a fallback position.
Yeah.
We realize that for churches that are just dependent entirely on
Offerings.
tithes, that is a wake-up call. I don't know what you think.
True.
Pastor, but for me, that's one of the lessons I've learned. I just realized it's possible that one day you may not have an opportunity to even have anything coming from them because of situations beyond them. So you close a church, you stop doing what you do. So those are issues that for me will be very key in looking at the next 15, 20 years.
And like you've said, Bishop, and very accurately, because this is happening today, but tomorrow the younger generation will also open church. They'll still run churches. They'll run this church, they'll run other churches. So, I agree that this is a learning for all of us, not just the church today, but even for the younger generation, because they'll still have children's church, they'll still have teens, they'll still have the main church. And so, yeah, that is a big lesson even to us, and even the young ministers who are coming up and learning from this and getting lessons from the COVID period. And let me say thank you again so much. It's a very big privilege to be with the two of you and learning and gleaning all this from you. I'm sure you've also been blessed hearing advice from our leaders, from people who've been there, campus life, high school, done it, and looking at the advantages we have today, and cautioning us also on matters leisure, and as well as planning for the future. And all this has come, and we want to thank you again for tuning in and being with us. Thank you again, Pastor Julius, for being here. Thank you again, Bishop Mwalili, for giving us his time and wisdom. And may the Lord bless you greatly. And tune in again. Don't forget to share this with your friends, with your family members, with your brothers and sisters. Share it far and wide. Let others be blessed also. Have a blessed time. Until next Friday, be blessed.